Right now I'm sailing in Greece, and many of you have asked about this hat, and today I am proud to announce the sponsor of this video, which is Shape Flexor. Click the link in the description below and use offer code DylanSunHat at checkout and get 15% off this amazing hat. Now, enjoy today's video.
My name is Errol.
My name's Kira.
And this is our 36-foot Van de Stad. Her name is Ungubadon and it's our home. My father had a sailing school, so I grew up on the water and sailing. He bought the designs from Van de Stad, he had a yard build a boat, and he fitted out the inside himself. We sailed it on and off for a good few years, lived on the boat for 2 years of university. It was kept on the hard for about 5 years, and that's when I met Kira.
It was new for me. I grew up by the coast, done a lot of swimming, a little bit of dinghy sailing, but nothing on a yacht before.
After we were going out for a while, we decided we wanted to go sailing. We
initially thought it would just be a 6-month job and we'd be on the water for the summer. But it ended up being a 2-year project to restore her fully. Any leave we got from work, we would just spend our time working on her.
We left Ireland in June and we spent that summer in Europe, sailing through France, Spain, Portugal, the Canary Islands. We did the transatlantic in December, went up through the Turks and Caicos into Florida, and we did the ICW all the way up as far as New York, where we branched off and went up the Hudson River and took the Erie Canal, where we had to demast the boat. In Oswego, we put the mast up and we were in Lake Ontario, and 24 hours later we were here in Toronto. This is our boat. She's a 36-foot Van de Stad. She's got a steel hull and she has a sloop rig, which means that she has one mainsail that goes back behind the mast and one sail up here that we call the Genoa, and those are the two sails that we use most of the time. The hull is made of steel, which makes her very heavy, but when you're crossing a big ocean or in a big sea, that means that it's a lot more stable, so she's a very comfortable boat. The bowsprit here, we have quite a long bowsprit out here, and the anchor comes right out onto the bowsprit so that it's always clear of the boat when we're dropping it. This is also a great place to stand out here when you're out at sea. Our winch do we use for hauling up the anchor. A lot of boats will have an electric one, but we have a manual one. It's quite old, but it works really well. The handle goes in here and we rock that back and forth, and that's how we haul up the anchor. Altogether, we have about 60 meters of chain, which can get quite heavy. If you take your time, it can be not too hard to haul up the anchor. The forward hatch here, Velcroed on, we have mosquito nets. This goes into the bow cabin. We have a V-berth up there. We use it mainly for storage, but it's also really good to have a big hatch like this for ventilation, because we don't have many other windows that open in the sides of the boat. Life raft we carried all the way from Ireland. Yeah, fingers crossed it never gets to be used. Our mast is mast step, which means the bottom of the mast is down here. There's no holes in the deck here. Below, there's a compression post that takes all the weight of the mast. It's got a tabernacle here with a pin in it, which makes it very easy to take down the mast, because you don't have to be lining up the mast beside of the boat. Underneath the spreaders, we have a Ubiquiti Bullet, which is our long-range Wi-Fi receiver. Apparently you can pick it up to 5 kilometers away. We normally a kilometer away we pick up Wi-Fi. You can see there we have our Canadian flag and our Ocean Cruising Club flag. So we have 2 solar panels on our boat, one on either side. They're 160 watt polycrystalline solar panels. We have them so that they can fold out. If we're in a tighter space, we might fold them in, or if there was very bad weather, we'd fold them in as well. We also have a wind turbine, which is also good, but you need a good steady wind. If we were doing it again, I'd probably replace the wind turbine with another pair of these solar panels. These are our house batteries. We have 3 of them. They're 110 amp hour and they're lead acid batteries. Here we have the solar charger, the wind turbine charger, the 110 volt charger. We have another one for in countries where we have a 240 volt. We have a separate engine room from the rest of the boat. It's a Mitsubishi block, which is marinized by a Spanish company. We have a solid steel wheelhouse. You don't worry about big waves breaking over the boat, getting hit by the boom or hit by stray ropes. It's very nice and cozy inside there when you're out in a storm or into winter. My father decided to put a tiller and not have any wheel steering. It made the whole system a lot simpler. It also makes it very easy for maintenance, and it's actually quite nice to sail with just a tiller. When we're stopped, we push the tiller over to one side, and then we have our nice table here for having lunch or dinner or drinks. A 3 horsepower outboard engine. We have a small dinghy. We don't keep it in the water here because when we're at a marina, we don't need it. This is a air-raised self-steering system. It runs off the wind. The wind vane goes in here. Through a bunch of pulleys, we attach it to the tiller, and once we start sailing on a course that we're happy with, it's able to steer the boat for us. We hardly had to touch the tiller in that whole crossing. We use propane for cooking. We have a locker here on the outside, and we're able to carry 2 propane containers. Those 2 containers will probably last us 3 to 4 months. We brought 2 Irish containers with us until we stopped being able to get them filled, and then bought a new regulator, and we found that the simplest system. So because we have a steel boat, there's a lot of magnetic interference. To have a good compass reading, what we've done is we've mounted our compass on this aluminium pole here, out on a bracket. Aluminum's non-ferrous, so it doesn't affect the compass. In the wheelhouse, we have a compass readout then that gives us a good reading. Main electrical switches for the boat. We have the engine controls, our house batteries and our engine battery voltage levels. And then here we just have the switches and fuses for some of our main instruments. And then we have some more switches for some secondary stuff over here.
Welcome to Below Deck. If you want to come down. This is the galley. She's small and neat, but once you're cooking in here, you're pretty solid. You're protected from 3 areas. This is the stove. It's on a gimbal. This is perfect for sea crossings. We've never had any spillages. There's been no accidents. There's a small grill here as well, and we've got an oven in here as well. And we've plenty storage in here as well. This is stuff we use every day. Most importantly, this is our AeroPress, which is a vital part of the boat. And coffee making is essential, especially for Errol. Pasta, rices, other sauces. Then we have more storage under here. We keep a lot of our tinned goods in here. And we also have another pull-out door that we did in here as well. Our diesel reflex kept us warm in the Canadian winter when it went down to -30. And essentially you just light it with methylated spirits. Once it gets going, it just drips the diesel in, and that's it. We just pretty much kept her going all winter.
It's an open flame, so you don't have any issues with condensation in the boat. And this chimney here runs up inside of the boat, so this gets really nice and warm, and you get a lot of heat off that.
This is the saloon, which originally had very deep seating, so we put another shelf back here just for more storage, and then we converted it for another 2 bunks. So this flips up here, and you have a second bunk inside here. There's also storage underneath here as well. We don't have much under there at the moment, but for provisions for long passages, both of these bunks were pretty full. Must have on every ship is ship stores. So this is where all our booze is kept. The boat is fitted with all LED lights, and Errol has 3D printed all the light fittings for us, with the USB port as well. This is the bow cabin, which we have for guests, anyone joining us when we're doing a crossing. It's also become a bit of a storage room as well. It's kind of handy to keep stuff in here. We keep a lot of fruit in here. Just before we did the transatlantic crossing, we didn't have a fridge, so Errol actually installed and made a fridge for us, which is just under here.
They use Peltier plates, and the back plate on it is water cooled. We have 2 big hull tanks that hold about 300 litres of water, but because the boat is getting a little bit older and the tanks are steel, the water out of it wasn't really drinkable. So we're using 20-litre containers here in the bilge. We have a whole line of them going to length to the bilge, and that's where our drinking water is coming from at the moment.
Inside here is the heads. We have a shower inside here, a sink which we replaced in the winter as well. We just got a bigger one. These are all 3D printed by Errol. The toilet is a simple Levac. We haven't had much problems with it, which is great. Back here we have our chart table. This is where we keep all the larger maps. We have Navionics, but we sometimes rather to have a large chart as well. And these are all like the European ones, and these are North America and Canada maps in here. Logbook, which has logged all our passages since we left Ireland. It's gotten pretty full now. This we just put in the winter. It was possibly used as a 7th berth on the boat because it goes the whole length back here as well. But we just found it was a waste of space, so we just converted it into more storage. And down here, actually, it's another way to get to the engine. So there's actually like 3 ways of getting to the engine as well. So we can get at it at all angles, really. And then back here is our aft cabin. It's at a slight angle, but it's pretty cozy. It's got plenty of storage under as well. So there's all storage under here, more inside of here, and then under the main bunk as well. I don't think anything prepares you until you actually do this. Once we decided to do the trip, I did all my courses, and it wasn't until maybe about Spain, I think by the time I got to Spain, I felt a bit more confident about doing it. But yeah, it takes time.
Everything takes longer, and nothing goes according to plan. It took us between 13 or 14 months to get from Ireland to Toronto. At Christmas, we flew home in like 8 hours. Even if it's not the best experience in the world, you learn an awful lot about yourself.
And you don't have to wait until retirement to buy a boat and go sail the world. You can do it at any stage in your life. The hardest part is probably taking the first step.
You can spend an awful lot of time trying to get everything just right. There's a lot of those things when we looked at them, they didn't really need to be done straight away, and we put them on a long finger and we're able to just go.
We quit our jobs, but still it took us 6 weeks before we actually left Ireland. And that's the hardest part, but once you get going, there's no stopping you.
I get asked all the time, Dylan, where did you get that amazing tricorn pirate hat? And I am here to tell you that I got it from Shapeflexer. Click the link in the description, use promo code DylanSunHat, one word, to get 15% off your amazing hat today. Damien, who designed these hats, thought of every single thing that you need. He's been traveling for like forever. The sides are breathable, the top zips off, it's got a neck cape, it's got a 3-stranded wire built into the brand so you can shape it however you want to, and it's going to stay in that shape and it's not going to damage the hat. You can shape it as many times as you want and it's going to last. These hats have an adjustable head strap so you can cinch it to your head so it's not going to fly off, and even if it does, use the neck strap and it won't go far. You can also fold it up like this and travel with it. It's super portable. Look, I can just put it in my shirt like that. If you have a backpack on, you can just fold up the back like this, and then you don't have to worry about your backpack knocking off your hat. Pull out the neck cape so you don't get a sunburn even though the back of your hat is flipped up, because this hat is packed with everything that you need. Use the link in the description below to order yours today and use offer code DylanSunHat and get 15% off. Seriously, go buy one right now. They're amazing. If you're traveling, no matter what, it'll protect you from the sun. It does everything that it's supposed to do while looking amazing, and you can be a pirate like me.